Let's go.
Am I living? Oh, what a funny thing to say.
We didn't mind the last one, so we're back on the couch.
Couch potatoes. I can't really remember the last time I spent a good amount of time on a couch.
No, I don't.
You know what I'm saying? Like, as a kid, you'd be like, oh, I'm on the couch Saturday night, Friday night, playing video games, watching movies.
I've never really been a couch person.
It used to be such like a place of rest and solace, whereas now I feel like I'm there so rarely.
My huge loves a couch.
Loves a couch.
Loves it. I'm like, do you want to move from the couch? Actually, I say, do you want to just swap seats every now and then because it's getting the dent? I'm like, he's like, I'm relaxing. And then I've gone and killed it. Move.
Hey, you've just said relaxing on it. And then that made me think of another topic that we could definitely talk about. Facebook Marketplace.
Oh, okay.
And just selling things on there.
All right.
I'll tell you a story about how Joya literally sold a bed from under me.
Get up, we're sold the bed. All right.
Literally, that's a different day.
I'll car park that.
Car park that one there. Guys, welcome back. Hey, it's another Monday already.
Already?
Nance, there's only a few weeks left of 2023.
Oh my gosh.
I don't even want to say it, but I'm actually so excited to get there.
Oh, I haven't done my Christmas shopping though. I've started. I've made the tiniest dent. I won't even say dent. It's a scratch.
A scratch
in it.
Wow.
So that's the part that makes me a bit nervous because I want that done before Jaden finishes school because going to the shops at Christmas time with a child. Oh,
see ya. What for? Guys, another episode of Living. You're here on the couch, as we said before, on the couch with Vince and Nancy. I like it. It's very like, come in, relax with us.
Therapy.
Well, for some.
Exactly.
Hey, speaking of therapy.
Yes.
I've got a topic for you today.
Tell me.
Now, you've come up with some really good ones the last few weeks, and I love that.
Okay.
This one might be a little bit prickly.
Ooh.
And I'm actually I was a bit unsure as to whether or not it's worth talking about. But I think it is because I think I'm not the only one out there who may be in this situation. I've got some friends who have a child.
Yes.
Lots of my friends have kids. And I'm just... Okay, let me cut through. The topic here is when do you intervene? Interventions. Interventions come in many shapes and forms, okay? They could be interventions with friends where it's like, hey, mate, are you okay?
Yeah.
Just notice some change in your behaviour. It might be like, hey, mate, you're really hitting those cheeseburgers pretty hard. Everything all right health-wise? It might be, hey, mate, your behaviour is a bit out there, or where's your head at?
So when is it okay to
step
on in? Yeah.
And step on in. And look, I'm talking from like either friends, family, different situations. When is it okay to help a stranger in the street? Because apparently in today's society, sometimes they're like, don't get out and help because they might turn around and stab you.
So sad that the thought goes through our head, but yes.
When do we intervene? When is it okay? So in this situation, I've just noticed maybe some of the choices, and I'm not judging. I don't want to make this sound like a judgy thing. It's coming from a place of love and concern more than anything.
And you want to know what to do.
What to do. What is the way that I approach the conversation if I'm concerned about, say, the level of nutrition?
Oh, I'm big on this. You know that.
Well,
I'm
if
big
there's
on
anyone
it.
I want to ask about it, it's going to be you.
Yeah,
and you're the one with the microphone. So let me ask, what do we do? How do you intervene? If I was to be like, hey, guys, I feel like I've just seen their kid eat nothing but beige. If you're a parent, you'll know what I'm talking about because they say that you want to see colour on the plate. You want to have a rainbow in your meal, as many colours as you can.
And we're not talking Fruit
vegetables,
Loops.
And we're not talking Fruit Loops. Nothing blue.
No. Or red or yellow.
My kids are like, Dad, I can have colour. That's blue. Can I have blue? No, blue is not a natural colour.
No.
Blueberries.
Yeah, it's
acceptable. That's about it, guys. But have you ever had that? When can I step in? I just feel like all they do is eat, and it takes me back to a conversation I had in high school with a friend of mine in high school who only ever ate. Actually, it's not just one now that I think about it. I had a friend in high school who only ever ate chicken schnitzels and chips.
Wow.
Like that was it. That was every time we'd go out to dinner, that was it. At home, all they would eat would either be pasta or chicken and chips. Like their parents weren't necessarily great in the kitchen.
Yeah.
And that's, again, no judgment. Everyone I understand that.
Yeah.
But at what point do you go, I need to find better nutrition in my diet At what point do you go, I need to learn a new skill and learn how to cook a fucking bacon and egg sandwich versus a schnitzel and chips?
Yes.
Or roast chicken and vegetables?
Yes.
I don't know.
I know it is, because that's really,
it's tough.
Yeah, it is tough, especially big. And I think it takes away, it can change a relationship purely because you run out of things in common to talk about, because you do things differently as well.
Yeah. Okay.
So
yeah.
that can
I thought
change.
you meant the intervention would change the relationship.
Well, you either intervene, or you keep taking a step back. So you're saying, when do you intervene to save the relationship that perhaps you've got? I've mentioned this too before as well. Like I do. I've got my idea of, I don't think that kid should be doing that constantly, or having that in their body. But no, I'm not a dietitian. I'm not a nutritionist. But it comes from a place of love.
Yeah.
Like, me with my, home toxic products or non-tox. Sometimes it's like, I'm not trying to sell you something, but why don't we just try it this way?
Yeah.
For you.
Yeah. And if you don't like it, don't keep doing it.
I know, I don't
know. I just feel like it's one of those things. And look, I've probably become more aware of what goes into my body since having kids. Not that I trashed my body for a while. There was a period there where it was just an absolute brodello in there. But, I look at what goes into my body and I'm very aware of it and I write it down. Have you ever done that? Have you ever written down?
I've had to before. Doing
like a FODMAP diet site where you got to record everything. Yeah. And that's really eye-opening. And I do that sometimes with my clients when I say, one of the questions I ask every week is, what was the last meal you had, like last full meal? And they'll list it. And then another question is, if you had to list what you've eaten and put into your body in the last 7 days, would you be proud of it? When you think about that, I know that you've got no issue with that. I know that you can be like, I'm proud because I know what goes into your body too.
I'm proud 90%, but hey, I indulge a little bit too. Don't worry about that.
Don't get me wrong. I smashed a half a packet of Tim Tams last night.
Yeah, I treat myself, absolutely. Then I treat myself and then I'm over it. That's just me.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's my hit for 2 weeks, and then I might go back and I
need better self-discipline when it comes to the bad things, and we've talked about that before as well. But
let's not go off topic because.
And I say the reason I wanted to talk about the awareness of what goes into my body, what goes into kids' bodies, is when you see sometimes you see little kids, and their little kids are supposed to have a bit of baby fat, a little bit of puppy fat, it's cute, little pinchable cheeks, but when you can see that the child is actually overweight. And they're boarding
for the wrong
reasons at the wrong age. Like that breaks my heart.
I know.
But I think is it just an education piece? This is what I'm actually wanting to ask, guys. Is there an education piece that needs to happen more? Because there are resources out there. There are fantastic resources out there if you know where to look.
I don't think that's the issue. It's just,
this is why I said it's prickly.
Easier, quicker.
Cheaper. And that's the thing. The cost of living is cooked at the moment.
Yeah. Do you feed them nothing or do you feed them shit? Yeah.
And that's the hard thing, isn't it? Because the things that are good are expensive.
Yeah.
Sometimes the things that are good are not expensive. But if you don't know what you don't know. And if people don't have the education piece or the understanding of nutrition or a balanced diet, I think it's hard for them to then give that to their children. So in that case, is it okay for a friend or a family member to say, hey, can I help? Or I don't know. I just feel like if it comes from a place of love, we talked about this last week, a place of love.
Yeah.
How do you navigate it?
I know. And it is hard. I know I've had the situation as well. Sometimes I want to say so much or sometimes I cop payouts because I'll cop a payout. Oh no, Jada's not allowed to have that.
Because you're higher than, what is it? Holier than thou. Holier than thou, no sugar in our house.
No, I'm not that person at all, but I'm allowed to have my rules.
The sort of the payout
I'm allowed to have my rules.
100%.
Or, after school, he might be given a lollipop at school that day because it was someone's birthday and they give out lollipops or something. And he'll go, Mum, everyone else can have their lollipop after school. Why can't I? And I'll go, absolutely, sweetheart. You can eat that lollipop now and there's no dessert tonight.
100%.
Or save it, have it for dessert. Your choice, darling. Have it now. Or later.
Totally.
I'm not saying no. Just make the right decision.
100%.
And it is hard at birthday parties because you don't want to be that parent that's making your kid the only one missing out.
But if you're going to a bit, you know what to
Absolutely.
expect. So,
go have fun.
So
and
counter that.
We'll make up for it later.
Right. That's
We'll
exactly
make
it.
up
If you
for it
know
later.
you're going to a birthday party, I know for a fact my kids are going to be hooked up on sugar, cake, pies and pasties, chips,
Correct.
nuggies,
Yep.
lollies,
Yep.
maybe even some lemonade. There's been, again,
Yep.
you know what does my head in? Party bags.
Yeah.
And like party bags that are full of crap that all parents don't want. So why the parents are giving them away, I don't know. But then the ones that like have the really bad things in them.
Yeah.
I love a little like party treat where it's like maybe just take a biscuit or something.
Yeah.
One little thing. An activity book is great.
I do something.
We
like
did bubbles, for example.
Yeah.
So like every kid got a bubble one.
Yep. I've done
But I
little
was like,
soccer balls, like mini ones.
I was like,
and
I'm not
I've
going to give
done-
them sugar sticks because I don't want to be the parent sending them home with cocaine for children. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like that's not fair of me either.
Yeah.
And then I've had that where my kids have come home with like those pixie sticks and they're like, Dad, can we have and they're feral and I'm like, thanks guys.
We just got some at Halloween that they'll be there for next Halloween to give back to our door knockers.
We did the same thing. We put our bowl, we put our Halloween bowl, and it makes me laugh because I said to Joy, I was like, I love it. Straight back in the cupboard. Out next year.
Next year.
All the candy we get from like that is bad for
it's
the
not
kids.
going off with that sugar in it.
100%. We just put it all into the Halloween bucket and it's ready for next year.
That's so funny.
Welcome.
But back to topic.
Interventions.
Is it okay to have a conversation, or do you think you should have a conversation with people to try and help, or will they take it the wrong way? Do you let it go and then, God forbid, they have issues down track and you think, damn it, I could have helped.
But then that's putting a lot of responsibility on yourself. You're taking that on and it's not. And that's probably where I need to differentiate here. I've had conversations. Let me just take a little sidestep from, let's say, like discussions around children and parenting. So I'm not telling people how to parent, making an observation. But friends and relationships. I've definitely had conversations where I've intervened with my mates and or other mates. So, I'm going to use guys. Because guys can be immature. I know I'm one of them. I've done it. There is a point that has to happen in your head, a change in your mindset and understanding when you do become a husband, a father. I'm not saying let's take all the fun out of it. But you've also got to go, I've got other responsibilities.
Yeah, priorities.
Priorities are different. And I've had friends who have had trouble with that and letting go of that sort of party boy phase and it impacts their relationship. I've then had friends who continue to encourage that. And I've had to be like called out at random times to go help out these situations. And I have said, hey, you need to pull your head in because A, it's not fair to your wife. You already know better. It's impacting other parts of your life. But then I've also gone to the other mates and said, what are you doing?
Yeah.
What are you doing to help him? Like as a friend, you're actually not. You're giving him all of the ammunition to destroy his relationship because we know that he just loves it. You know what I mean? He loves going out, having a good drink after the footy game and things like that. But it's impactful in the wrong way.
But this scenario is a little bit clearer for me, the one that you're giving me now, because I think if you're young, where you are at in your life, even age-wise, and giving the advice, for example, I've had past relationships where friends have told me over and over again, Nance, what are you doing? What are you doing? And that has just gone over my head, over my head, over my head until the penny dropped for myself. I cannot go, no, I that stopped, that ended because you told me. No. I realised for myself.
You have to get there yourself.
You have
100%.
Yes, give your opinion, back off. They will come to the decision on their own. But when you're older, I think, like marriages and stuff like that, I think it's different because it holds more weight. I think that's where you should step in, or we should step in and say, you know what, like, I really love both of you guys and I want you to work out.
100%.
But when you're younger, I think there's an element of you need to realise for yourself, no matter how many people intervene, it's not going to make a difference.
Unless you take the action and you are ready for it, though.
If you're ready for it. And if
Yeah.
you see it, sometimes you don't see it. Something might happen out of the blue and go ding.
Yeah. And sometimes it's the wrong voice. Have you ever had that where like you talk to someone
Yeah.
and you say to them repeatedly like, hey, I need you to do this, or what
Yes.
about that? What about that? And just falls on deaf ears.
Yes.
And then someone random
Yes.
will make that same comment
Yep.
to them and they'll be like, oh my God, so the other day such and such said this, and you know what, I'm going to do that. And you're like,
I know. Penny
hello.
drop. Yeah.
Good morning, Australia.
Yeah.
What have I been saying for the last 6 months?
Yes.
But you're the wrong voice.
I know.
Sometimes you're too close.
Yes.
Sometimes you're too far. Sometimes it's a different value perception of your opinion and your input that they have. So that's also something, to consider. And then if that's the case, you got to find the right voice.
I'm also big on writing.
Like letters.
Yeah. For example, like if you're just going to give me the example of you intervene and then it could ruin your friendship
Yeah.
or something, I am big. If something's really impacted me, it doesn't have to be a letter, it could be a text or whatever. But if I've said my piece and if I've gone home and in any way, shape or form, I feel like I've offended them, I will send this massive explanation of just where I was coming from and why.
Yeah.
I've done.
And how's that gone?
I feel much better about it because I do.
Yeah.
But
Which
I
is
think,
good.
and it hasn't always. Some people just like, they'll just ignore the message or whatever. But I just need to say it's purely because I love you
Yeah.
and I want to help you. Or, sometimes I've been so upset with situations that have happened with me, with friends or whatever, and you just go, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. But I'm like, I worry about it because it means something to me.
Yes.
So the fact I like that about me, but it also drags me down as well.
I'm exactly the same.
Because I don't want to upset my friend.
Yeah.
Have I upset them? How did I upset them?
Yeah.
So he's like, don't even worry about it. Who cares? You didn't do anything wrong.
I agree with that 100%. Like I'm
But
the
sometimes
same
you
as
need to maybe go back later, intervene perhaps when it's necessary, and then maybe go back later and explain where you were coming from and why you did what you did and let them sit on that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's a tricky one, and I'd love your input as well, guys. If you're listening today or watching, when is the right time to intervene and how? It's probably a better one as well.
Yeah.
Like I said, I've done it a couple of times with relationships and mates and behaviour.
Yeah.
I've never done it with, I've never intervened with somebody else's kids.
No.
I've definitely told other kids off.
Yeah.
And I've got people who I've given permission to tell my kids off.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? Because I
Yes.
think there's different boundaries and things. But
But
it's
are you
tricky.
the type of person that if you needed some help, would you appreciate the help? Are you offended by the help? Do you get your back up? If you're going through something, I don't know, do you want
appreciate
the
it.
knock at the door?
Yeah, look, it's something that I think a lot of people struggle with. Even myself, I can say that. And it's not so much I struggle with asking for help. I'm happy to ask for help. I love asking for help. I think that's a really
I
great...
struggle a bit. I'm getting better.
I say struggle when I say it, but for me it's more just like, not that I struggle to ask for help, it's more just I want to do it myself. So it's not about like, I know I can ask for help. I don't have a problem asking for it, but let me just at least try to do it. And if I can't, if I'm stuck, then I will say, I don't like when people come in when I'm mid something and working it out and then tell me the answer.
Yeah.
I need to work it out.
Okay.
Which probably goes back to what you're saying, in the sense
Yeah.
of give me the opinion,
Yeah.
give me the input, and then let me come to that. I need to be ready for it and or learn it myself.
Well, it's a fact that's the only way it's going to work out. Because when that person,
100%.
I've had people say like, move interstate. Well, this is years ago. You come live here. And then when I finally moved to Melbourne because of Eugene's work for a bit, people would say like, oh, I told you should have moved years ago. It's like, I'm not moving now
nothing to
because
do
of
with it.
all the things
Yeah.
you said. Like it's the timing and what.
Totally. What brought you there? Different.
It's a mumbo jumbo, this one, because
It's layered. It's definitely layered. And it's the same as like the clients that I work with now. It's like the personal coaching things. People will come to me and they'll say, I need to change. Okay, well, what do we need to
that's
change?
different. They're coming to you that you are.
But sometimes they're
Open
still not ready.
slather, go.
Sometimes they come because they've been told to, but they're not ready. They're not ready. They're just going through the actions. And that's totally fine because you have to be ready to change. You have to be willing and wanting to change as well.
But I think you need to deliver what you need to deliver And if they've come to you,
when they come to me and they're ready, Nance, trust me,
no
one's
but
walked
what I'm
out of here
saying,
the
even
same.
if they're not ready, that you need to deliver, you need to do Vince.
100%.
And
but
even
that's exactly
if
what
it's
they get.
1% that they get because they weren't ready, they'll always take something away.
1,000%.
And it'll come back to them later, the other
100%.
stuff,
That's
when
why
they are ready.
100%. That's why I do a 45-minute free.
Yeah.
Your first hour in total with me is for that conversation. And you'll get everything you want out of it.
That's a bug.
It is. And you'll start the car. wasn't meant to be a promo, but let me chuck it in for you.
Hey, go for it.
No, 100%. Because you know what? I'll give you everything you need to get started.
Yeah.
Whether you action or not is up to you. It's the same as when I work with businesses. I have some business owners who say to me, they're like, all these problems. Vince, what are we going to do about it? I say, what are you going to do about it?
Yeah.
I'm highlighting the problems. I don't have to change them.
Yeah.
You have to change them.
Correct.
You got to do it, guys. The work.
I know. When do we intervene?
I love that. It's a real good one. I would love your input. But for today, I reckon I would just leave it there.
Yeah, it's a big one.
It's a big one. I'm really got to think about this.
Me
because
too.
I wasn't sure if it was the right topic, and I'm happy that we talked about it.
Yeah. When do we intervene? On a day-to-day basis, maybe. Yeah. Okay.
Tricky.
Doesn't have to be heavy. It can be something little.
Yeah. Like the way that you drink your coffee. Intervene on that. Too much sugar.
No,
not you. I say it to people all the time. My mum still thinks I have 2 sugars. I haven't had 2 sugars for about 20 years, but she always does it. Oh, it kills me every time. Guys, have a fantastic week. See you next week for a new episode of Living.
Ciao, ciao.
Am I living?
You can self-promote. You only want to help people.
That's all I do.
Absolutely.
All I want. Help people. Thanks. Thanks, guys.
But your mama always said, look up into the sky, find the sun on a cloudy day, on a cloudy day. Your mama always said, look up into the sky, find the sun on a cloudy day, on a cloudy day. Your mama always said, look up into the sky. Am I living?
Hello, if you're a local business in SA and you want Vince and I to join you on site for one of our on-site live recording sessions of our podcast, please reach out to us at hello@livinpodcast.com.
It's a great opportunity for expanded reach, customer interactions, and some authentic storytelling opportunities for your brand.
Not to mention fun.
Of course, it's fun. So email us at hello@livinpodcast.com and we will see you on site really soon.